You are listening to Unboxing the Truth podcast, only the greatest and the best podcast in the world, brought to you by George Carrillo.
And so then there was I, just talking to that person, telling them exactly what to do. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know nothing else to do. It was a fucking cry on the fucking floor. So what else would I have to say? I remember I said, you could do whatever you fucking want to do.
Hello guys, how's it going? George here with the first edition of Driving to Work edition for this podcast of Unboxing the Truth. So today, I want to talk about time management and how we're able to then manipulate time so that it could be in your favor. So, everyone out there, I know even the person you that is listening to right now, right? You, or even I myself. One thing that we struggle the most is that we hate that we don't have enough time for things. Can it be a coincidence? Like, we don't have time at all? Everyone lives in approximately 80 to 90 years, right? In today's technology advancements, we could probably extend that a lot more. Back in the day, living 50, 60, 70 years was a blessing. A lot of people in unprivileged neighborhoods get to be blessed by living their 21st birthday, which is pretty crazy, right? But now going back to time management, even myself, I have been a victim in this where I tend to be, or to say, fuck man, I don't have enough time because I have to go to work, I gotta do homework, I gotta do this and that, I gotta do the chores, I gotta take over the trash, I gotta go buy groceries, etc., etc., which sucks, doesn't it? And it's hard to really just sit down. I mean, it takes discipline to just sit down and be like, I need to go do this, and I gotta go do that, I need to do this, especially when once you're out there on your own. It's very difficult, and sometimes you hate it. You simply fucking hate the idea, and you just want it to stop. Well, there's always a solution to everything. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm not going to say that this is a solution, a permanent solution that will work for you. It has worked for me. And, well, hopefully it could work for you. You never know. Now, when it comes to time, you have to kind of prioritize the things that will benefit you on the long run, right? Eating that cheeseburger at 2 o'clock p.m., do you think that's a priority? You're going to spend anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes getting off or even going to drive-thru, especially going to McDonald's, that there's always a long drive-thru, or going to In-N-Out or Whataburger or Chick-fil-A, etc., etc. That's just time that you lost. Now, yeah, you might say it's a lot faster still than cooking at home. But one thing about cooking at home is that you have to go out there and do the purchasing, right? Or even if you have a subscription, you're still learning as you go. It's a time investment that will benefit you in the long run versus going to McDonald's on the drive-thru. All you gotta do is like, fuck man, I want this car to fucking move, or that person that is ordering and fucking being so picky with his fucking order with no onions and extra pickles, only fucking mayonnaise half on the burger. Like, come on, So learn how to prioritize what is it that the actions or the things that you need to do throughout your day that is going to give you the biggest return, right? It's kind of a business in a way. Now, don't live your life in a business. I'm not saying that. Or don't live in a relationship in a business. But it's the same concept, right? So, I'll give you an example right now, right? Of how well you can use your time. Right now, I'm driving to work. I'm driving down. This is what, south. Heading out, which to be traffic soon here in Los Angeles, and I'm heading to work. It takes me about anywhere from 20-25 minutes to head to work. With traffic, it probably could go up to about 30 minutes, which is, all depends. But if I really thought about what I'm doing right now, which I'm talking to myself in this podcast, which I want you guys to listen to, I have all these ideas, right? Which I'm pretty sure you, right now, the person listening to me right now, you have ideas when you drive to work, don't you? There are things that pop up in your head. You're like, damn, I could have done that, or damn, I couldn't do that. And since we're driving or so, we can't just stop and text, especially if you're in the middle of the traffic. You can't just write it down. Now you can do audio memos, you know. So one of the things that I like to do is just document, which is like the podcast here, what I'm doing, which is great. It's amazing. So I'm utilizing all this time, even though I'm driving to work, I'm utilizing this time as well, the commute, in order for me to build on this podcast, to give you guys more content, which is great, which is amazing. And that is one thing of how you can manipulate time, which is great. Now, while you're at work, depending on whatever your work is, right, your job is, whatever the demand is, everyone is very different, right? There are jobs where you're behind a desk where you have a lot of free time. There's jobs where you're literally working the whole 8 hours. There's jobs where are simply weird, you know? Or there's jobs where you can't really have a phone with you. Even though you have a lot of free time, you can't have your phone with you, which sucks, because then you're just kind of stuck. In today's age, a lot of people can't imagine to be away from their phones. But yeah, man, it's important. Now, this goes out to the college students out there. Time management is key, and it's hard. We tend to, get distracted by talking to peers, to colleagues, going out to parties instead of doing homework, which is okay, But at the end of the day, there we are at 2, 3 in the morning trying to finish the project that could have been done in the daytime. Now, this is very difficult. My first year at Chico State, that's one thing I wanted to do. I wanted to just do my homework throughout the day or during classes, etc., during the lectures, like how I used to be in high school. The only difference is that college is a lot different, because in high school, there's still accountability, but not as much. Depends on, especially public schools here in Los Angeles. There's not so much accountability, and that's, I would say, because of the whole No Child Left Behind thing, which, sucks. And so then it's very difficult to then think about, what's going to happen in life. Versus in college, you have a lot of accountability, man. You have a lot of shit. You don't do your homework, or you don't do this, or you don't do that, or especially mom and dad is not there to do the things that you used to do. Well, they used to do while you're at school. For example, buying shampoo or buying the necessities that you need to live at home, right? All we would go is back home, play video games, be with our friends, talk, text, whatever the fuck. And it was nice. But in college, it's now, you have to think about that for yourself. Adulthood hits. It's very hard. It's difficult. It fucking sucks. I know it sucks. And, but as you grow on, as you get out of the phase of, going to parties, getting drunk, or whatever the case is, whatever fun is for you during college, you tend to then work at yourself and say, man, you know what? That was amazing. That was great. Now I think it's time to put my head into the books and move on, push on. Which is great, right? But it takes time. And I wish when we're younger, instead of thinking about what society thinks about us, I wish we would then tend to think about for ourselves, what can I do to better up myself? And I know there's a very few privileged people that are able to do that because of the way they were raised and the private schools that they attended, boarding schools, etc. But going back to time management, it's something that we all battle. Let's face it, it's not something that it only happens to you or me. It happens to everyone. The only way we could battle this or fight through this and have victory is through experience. It's through experience, man. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't want to make this episode too long, because time management is all key on experience. Prioritizing what you need to prioritize on, so that it could, that action could then have a greater outcome versus going to McDonald's for 5-10 minutes and now you're just you eat, now you're bloated, sitting down there, you're like, man, I should never go to McDonald's. But you have to find different things, what is important to you. And I think I should make another video on about how to prioritize, how to pick those things, because it's very difficult to do that sometimes as well. And I think that's why I'm here. I want to talk to you guys about my experience of how I have done that. And so, yeah, other than that, I mean, it's a great time. I love every single one of you that has been listening to me rant or just talk here all day. Much love to all that. Don't forget, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always email me at info@unboxingthetruth.biz, or you can also visit my website at unboxingthetruth.biz, and Facebook will be up soon. And I do have a YouTube channel, especially for this podcast as well. So you could either listen to the podcast through there, iTunes. There's other outlets that we have, SoundCloud as well. If you go to YouTube, you could just search up Unboxing the Truth, and it should come out there. And other than that, if you have any questions, I think we should leave it here today. I'm just saying, I think that's what we're doing.